Welcome, mortals, to a game of life and death, where all the stakes are as high as they can possibly be. Always.
Rare.
Yes. Very medium rare.
The best.
That is the best.
Depending on the chef, sometimes the medium rare comes out more rare.
I'm just here to hallucinate with my friends and play with math rocks.
Well,
Oh,
that's
so you
basically
took your
our
shrooms
slogan. Welcome to D-Fourtress, where we hallucinate with each other and play with math rocks.
And talk
That's
about
now our
cheese
that's now our
sometimes.
tagline. Thank you, Bentley.
Yeah.
And it's a mission we try to live up to.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So I looked up an encyclopedia of cheeses the other day,
Oh no.
and all it said inside was the fitness gram pacer test.
Oh no.
The fitness gram
How to
pacer
cheese
test
the
is a
fitness gram
multi-stage
pacer
aerobic-
test. If you stand with your back to the southwest corner and jump 3 times, you'll be able to clip through and get the high score.
Oh, yeah. It allows you to completely skip the level.
Yeah. Just like having PTSD trauma,
Yeah.
just thinking about that.
Sadly, no cheese for me today. Not even drinks. I just have ice water in a thermos.
I have
that's
Raisin
made by
Bran.
our-
I have a secret stash of cheese that Gavin doesn't know about.
I don't want it because if I ate it right now, I'd probably throw up. But if you hear random squeaking in the background, it's because Andrew gave me a fidget device. It's this really cool revolver chamber that is also a dice set. So I go like this. In the center is the D20. And these are all bullets, and it's really cool. Too bad my gunslinger in our campaign died last week, but I
It
have
was poor
plans to
timing.
I have plans. I have
it's
plans
either
to play
memory
another
of,
one.
or I'm rubbing salt on the wound. I'm not sure, but I just hope for the best.
It's a little of both. I'm rubbing salt in my condolences.
Rest
Yep.
in peace, Zeno. I will play another
Yeah.
gunslinger eventually.
Rest in pieces, Zeno.
Gold pieces, that is. He got turned to gold.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
There
I'm
we
gonna
go.
sell his body.
Who knows? Maybe
But
I'll
that's a
just
story
make
for another day.
maybe I'll just make a gunslinger villain for you guys to fight, and I can use these. Anyway,
Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
anywho, Andrew, do you have any announcements before we get into the meat and potatoes?
Just throwing out a reminder, it is getting close to Christmas time, and we got a bunch of handmade gifts on the store. So just remember to check out D-Fourtress.com. We got coasters, we got shirts, we got mystery dice packs, bunch of different things. And any orders placed within the next couple of weeks, I will work overtime to make sure I get them out, so then that way they're shipped to you, hopefully before Christmas. If that means I have to expedite it and basically make it faster for the shipping, then I'll pay a couple extra just to make sure you get it for Christmas. But anyways, would love to make you some stuff.
And other than that, just a quick shout out to our Patreon. If you're subscribed at the highest tier, which is the Paragon tier at $10 a month, you get permanent discounts on everything in that merch store. So that will translate over to that. But I believe that is everything. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Go ahead and roll that intro.
No, it's more than that.
And then the EG cheese went on the Triscuits really
So-
nicely. It's so tasty.
Yum.
So, last time, the Oddities were sailing across the Eskimar Sea on the Iron Caravan ship with their stolen goods from the Crimson Crown. On your way after the torture and execution of one Roulette Deshawn, you sailed, got some information from Argoth as a thank you for saving his life. Though the information pertinent to why he was captured by the Crimson Crown is technically already paid for by Siva, so you would have to get permission from Siva to receive said information. But, along your journey, you were summarily attacked by a flock of harpies and nearly wiped out. But with some remembering
That was
of,
an understatement.
with some remembering of what was actually in your inventories.
Hey, I hadn't played in a long time.
Yep.
I forgot my assets. I forgot my child.
You
One
were
of your
able to
child.
just
The other
eke
child
out,
was asleep.
yeah. You were able to just eke
So
out
your
a
line is
victory.
wasted.
So, upon recovering, however, you woke to the ship being pulled into an indoor boathouse, a large warehouse, where the contact would have been waiting for you. So as you step onto the deck, you were met with a dwarf man who seemed very stocky with salt and pepper hair, beads braided into both his beard and his hair, that looked to be middle-aged. And as he turned, he seemed to recognize Ghost as he was taking stock. So that is where we left off. So I believe we left off with Ghost saying, "Hello, Borv."
Borv. She'll just go right on over and just like punch his shoulder.
Hey, that's not fair. You know I can't punch you back.
Exactly. That makes us even. I told you we would get even.
Hey, I thought we were already even. I came up with your alias after all. It was my bloody idea. You should be paying me royalties.
Semantics.
Nah.
Hey, I made it so you could live to make the name.
So, who's your crew? And he's gonna like walk past up to you two, and just walk past up to you two. It seems that she's wrought more unfortunates into her antics, eh?
I'd say the antics are mutual.
Oh no, you're troublemakers, aren't you?
Welcome to the Oddities, Borv.
Yeah, they sure seem to be.
You rebranded.
I did. I couldn't very well take the name of Arnold. Didn't
Yeah.
feel right.
And you know, honestly, I always thought it was a bit edgy for my tastes.
It was. I wasn't in a good place.
Let me guess. Fiery Arsenal.
The death toll.
Doom. The death. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, who are you?
Oh, Bortnik. I used to be an associate of Ghost over here. Yes, I was the brains of the operation. Nah, I hit stuff really hard.
Oh, well, I guess that's my job now. Does that make me your replacement? He just kind of says with a smile.
I wouldn't say replacement, more like
Upgrade,
Counterpart.
right.
Hey!
Oh.
You watch it. You watch it, buddy. And exactly who are you?
Oh, I'm
My name's
Christy.
Rakos. Oh, sorry.
I was
I'm
talking to
just
my
gonna-
kinsman here, mate.
I'm Belden. I kind of stumbled upon the group, and they've taken me in.
That's usually how it operates. It was kind of the same with me, honestly. Well, glad to see they've got some stout blood still running in, and he'll give you a solid fist to the shoulder.
Oh yeah, I'll do my best to keep them alive.
He's done well so far.
Well, I can see things are.
As long as it's not on a boat again. That nearly killed me in itself.
I can see things are going. Well, taking an interesting turn if you're working with the likes of Siva. Not that it's a bad thing, mind you, but it invites a bit of excitement, if you know what I mean.
You are the one that recommended me to him and gave him my name.
I was, but yeah, there is no but. I just thought it was a good idea. He's a very resourceful man,
He is.
and he's got a bit of a mutual interest with you could share.
Oh, definitely. It's been very fun going against my brother. He knows I'm alive now.
Oh shit, that's not good.
No.
That's not very good at all.
Oh, he was so pissed though. It was amazing.
Oh, I wish I could have been there.
He was talking through a robot.
Oh, you didn't even get to see his face.
No, but I couldn't resist. His voice was so infuriating. I had to speak.
Oh, that's fair. Well, well, when you do decide to face the bastard, you know, give a shout. But in the meantime, I've got a job to do. Your reward, which I definitely have on my person.
1,200
Mhm.
for our Goth and 1,500 for returning the stolen ship.
Exactly. So 3,700.
Although 200 is to go to the captain, Captain Griggs.
3,500. Alrighty. So 3,500. And you see him check his pockets. Would you lot like some dinner?
Dinner sounds great.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, welcome to Elkwind. My current base of operations. I've got a bit of a cabin out on the north side of the town. A nice little spot made for myself. Not that it being a cabin makes it anything special. Most of the places here are cabins, really. But if you want to come follow me, I'll take you to my home and fry up some fresh game. Manage to bag a couple bears.
Oh.
Got a nice stew on the fire going. I was expecting, another day before ships arrive, so hopefully it's not overcooked to hell and back. But if you only come follow me.
I did enjoy that polar bear meat that we had. What did Pax call those again? Sliders?
Sliders.
Little sandwiches with polar bear meat. They were quite nice.
Oh, definitely. I liked the triangle thing too, the pizza.
Oh yes, that was good. Maybe if we see Pax again, Belden, you could try some of his food. It's quite nice.
No, I like to cook a bit myself. but little is better than a nice hearty stew after a long boat ride.
Especially one where you couldn't keep any of said food down. You fed the fishes more than the captain fed you.
Indeed.
Which is also funny because we're going to be eating fish in Snowdrift.
One giant circle. I don't know, circle of life or something like that.
Definitely.
Hopefully they've got something else, but either way, food sounds good.
Is that old place still running, Borv, with the best sushi?
Oh, yeah. In fact, they've upgraded. They moved locations.
See, that's good information to know. Where are they located now? Was it that one place the owner had his eyes on for all those years?
No, even better. New construction at the heart of the city. It's actually...
Wow.
Yeah. They've... they actually use the underground waterways to bring in the fresh fish, hatch that leads straight up into the restaurant and everything. Literally, the last time I ate there, I was there probably like a month ago. Well, what I hadn't been caught maybe 5 minutes before. It was... Oh, it was like a feast of the gods.
So basically, we're going to go immediately there, once we go to Snowdrift.
Yeah, so that sounds like a very nice plan.
If it was good before, and they've only gotten better, I don't know how I'm going to react at all.
Never had fish I like, but I'll forgive it.
There's a dog.
Well, you're going to eat it and you're going to like it because we're going there.
Absolutely.
There's a dog scratching at my door. So, you step out into Elkwind. The snowy exterior and the breeze hits you pretty fast as you're greeted with this sprawling complex of gorgeous dark wooden cabins and stone structures. Stone structures that with paved roads that seem to wind and twist around each other. The pungent smell of fish, livestock, and like game and campfires, as there are communal bonfires set up spread throughout the city, and the place is abuzz with activity. You walk out, there's children playing in the snow, there's some guards out on patrol, people going about their days, there's, local tanneries, butcher shops. This is a very working village here. A lot of activity. Yeah.
How big is this village compared to like Eritrude, Rheinvale?
It is nowhere near as big as Eritrude and Rheinvale. Eritrude and Rheinvale can have anywhere from like those cities could have anywhere from like 50 to 200,000 people. This one is probably, if it even meets that at all, probably maybe barely 10,000-ish.
Nice.
So it's a town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's a big town,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this isn't like going in and there's like 24 residents. Those kinds of towns, if you
kind of litter
like
just so you look on, just so you can understand, look on the map, and I'll be implementing this And I'll probably be implementing this in our other campaign too. Just something I wanted to try. If you look at the map here, down here, you'll find icons like this. Here's like the Blue Bitter Ranch right here, and then here's Fort Steelwind up here. So you'll so it's like small, like really small villages. You'll be stumbling across randomly as you explore. So yeah,
if we explore,
yeah, that's if. So as he's kind of leading you through, you notice some of the townsfolk are very excitedly waving to Borv. They're saying hi. He's greeting them by name and everything, and people here seem to genuinely like and respect him. Even the town guard are like giving him hearty hellos, giving him pats on the back. And just due to you being with him, you are immediately greeted with warmth from these people as well. And
good old Elkwind.
Yeah. And so yeah, he's just like, well, if you'd like, I could take it to the inn. We can drop your stuff off, or you could just stay at my place for now. I will admit, if you do, it's going to be a wee bit cramped, but I mean, it's free at least.
Rick goes a look at Ghost. Like, what do you think? I don't care either way.
Do you have strong drink?
What kind of question is that? Another. I'm a stout blood through and through, you know.
He was our dealer. He was the one carrier of the group.
Oh yeah,
He's got the good stuff.
Oh, absolutely. You know, since I last seen you, Ghost, I've been plenty of places. You know, I actually did a job out in the Rascalia for a bit, and you wanna know what I got for my trouble?
What?
I got some of the rarest moonshine you could ever ask for. I got some moonshine from there. I got some nice classic Tyrvian whiskey. And, of course, the best of the best. White Hammer Trusslid Ale.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking. We have dinner at your place. We have a lot of drinks to celebrate a job well done, and then we just stay the night at your place, I want to get drunk at your house.
Absolutely. All right, Ghost, of course, you can have the attic bedroom to yourself.
Thank you.
You two, I've got some nice couches and furs that you can make yourself at home with.
Works for me.
Right, so right this way, and he leads you through just barely on the outskirts of town. And when I say barely, I mean, like, there's like a solid line where like the town proper ends, and then it gets into more, on the outskirts, more like livestock territory kind of a thing, where you can go and you can see a couple other cabins and houses with fields of ox. Fields of ox and cattle, very thickly furred like just winter fur creatures that you can easily tell that not only they're used for their meat and their milk, but a lot of the clothes here are made from their furs and hides as well. Mm-hmm. And as you go, so just on the outside, less than 100 feet from like where the buildings are much more clustered, you see this nice 2-story cabin. It's not very wide. it looks like to be like maybe 2 rooms per floor, with a sloped roof, a very pointed roof, and then kind of in that triangle you see like a windowed attic that you can see through. So it's a very nice place, just but it's like you guys have been in actual cabins. Even the nice cabins are kind of compact in a certain way. But as you approach, you see gorgeous just wooden carvings carved into the sides of it, depictions of monsters, beasts, knights, as well as some you see a just large carved wooden bear, full size, on the front porch, and then right next to it a taxidermied polar bear in the same exact pose. And
Very cool.
yeah, and just like,
Nice.
all right. Well, welcome to my humble abode.
Nice decor. I see you've written down your stories. You'll have to tell me about some of these, because I don't recognize some of them.
Oh no, some of these are actually the local stories, not even my own.
Wow.
You know, the townspeople built this home for me out of thanks.
Ah.
Thanks
It's
for
still
what?
very nice.
Oh, you know how it is. You show up, town's getting under attack by monsters, you deal with monsters, everybody's grateful, they give you money and goods, and then sometimes you just like the place so much you stay. Also, because monsters seem to really like these smaller towns. Easy pickings.
Not unlike a certain Eritrude we were just in. Though it isn't as small as this.
Oh, I've been hearing word about that. Nothing that crazy here. You know, just the typical man-eating predator on the outskirts of town. But I mean, I had the mate though. I haven't heard from her in several weeks. She went down south. She went down south. I haven't heard from her, but I mean, she can handle herself at least.
Hmm. It's been a long time.
Aye, it has.
It would be nice to get the band back together.
It would be, but I don't even know if those other idiots are still alive. And if they are, they're definitely very secretive about it. I'm surprised nobody's come for me. I decided I got bored of hiding, so I just decided, hey, I'm in public now, but...
And then we found each other.
Exactly, but I don't really think your brother ever considered me much of a threat, so I don't even care to come looking for me. But if he does, at least I'll have something to smash. Right. And he leads you through this narrow walkway into this gorgeous, like, open living dining room kind of area. There's some carved couches with comfortable furs, making the cushions surrounding a fireplace, a nice dining set, a cozy little kitchen with with on the side you just see racks and racks of different assorted drinks, ales, meads. A very distinct lack of wines, though.
By the way, very impressive size of that polar bear. It had a good 3 feet on the one that we killed, south of Rheinwell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it helps when, it's a bit busy, trying to hunt something else, and then you just kind of take it from behind. So the way I took care of that is I went and I hopped up on its back, and then I just kept hacking until it stopped moving. It was a real bloody pain to hide those scars and the stuffing.
You
Yeah.
did it well, though.
Whoever stuffed that for you did a pretty good job.
Yeah, you could find just about anything to do with, dealing with dead animals in this town. Really great craftsmanship here.
So food. And
Food,
drink.
right? Yes. And he goes over to the kitchen, pulls up this pot, and you get the pungent smell of meat and vegetables, onions, carrots, and it's just this thick, beefy broth that just this aroma that goes through and just like one final touch, and you see him go take this bottle, pouring the last bit of contents.
Yes.
All right.
Secret ingredient that makes everything better.
Exactly. Snowberry beer.
I've missed your cooking. I mean, Pax's cooking was undeniably great, but it wasn't as meaty.
We'll have to have a
Didn't hold the weight.
We'll have to have a proper cook-off with this fella then. Unless he's dead, but then I guess we could do it. After I die, then we can have it. But anyway.
He's not dead. He's just gone on a mission. He'll return in how long again?
Like, probably 2 business months. 2 to 3.
Oh, he's on the mission, so he's one of those missionary types.
Pretty
Sort
much.
of.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I just know he'll be gone for a moment.
He doesn't know him as well.
Right. Well, he goes and he serves each of you up. And takes a place at this hand-carved dining table. And also mounted along the walls, you see just different assortments of axes. You see different assortments of axes, hand axes, mauls, warhammers, swords. Just you look around to find a weapon, and the answer is yes. There's war picks. And they do all seem to have been used at some point. These aren't decorative pieces. These are practical pieces that I'm going to use. Rakos, with your eye of blacksmithing, these are not adorned. These are just very practically made. Very practical and well made. Not very decorated, but just solid work. They're meant to get the job done.
Do they all have like a similar, I guess, style of craftsmanship, or does it look like it's varied?
No, it is like completely just a mixed bag. You can see different styles, some of which you would actually recognize as some Rookwind tribe designs. But you also see the Stonehide tribe, just little bit of everything. You know the blacksmithing styles of the major blacksmiths in the area, so you could basically.
So in other words, one of those I made. I am the blacksmith for the Rookwind tribe.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so you could see one of your pieces.
That one.
It's just like, no way.
Yes, I forged that axe. It was probably my father that sold it to you, or you probably visited one of the black shops that he traded with, but blacksmith shops. But yes, I made that one.
Oh, well.
See this? And he lift it up. He'll just lift it up off the wall. He doesn't feel ashamed of touching it, even though it's on there, because he's like, this. I made this. And he just takes the handle off. That's my signature, and then puts it back on.
And it's just like, oh, well, you'd be happy to know that that was the axe I used to gain favor with the town.
That does make me feel good.
Oh, and he's just like, each of these weapons that I put up, these aren't, these are things that I put up because it's, I actually use them, and I stand by their craftsmanship. So each thing that you see, each weapon you see hanging, has actually been used to kill something. So.
Well, yeah.
Well, I'm glad it serves you well.
Yeah, I recognize most of them. You always were a sentimental one.
Exactly. But unfortunately, the story behind this axe isn't quite done yet. If it even can be done. I stopped the immediate threat, but I'm pretty sure the nest is still out there somewhere.
Nest of what, exactly?
Right then. Tell me, what is the scariest thing that you have fought so far? And I'm not talking like the strongest, no, the thing that unsettled you to your core.
For you, it might have been that Yeti, because couldn't you understand it?
That was like psychological terror.
That was you said that he did say unsettling, so that's what I thought of.
Yes. One recommendation: if you have the opportunity to speak to the thing that you think can't talk, but then suddenly it can, and now it can understand you, or you can understand it, don't kill it and eat it. It leaves a strange kind of scar on you. So yes, probably the Yeti.
I was gonna say spiders.
Well, these things can sort of talk. A little bit. You see, they mimic sounds that they've heard before. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about there, big fella. As it was, well, it's from your people that I heard the horror stories to begin with. Y'all ever heard of a Wendigo?
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Those bastards.
Yeah, forget the Yeti.
Those bastards are real. There were two of them that were hunting out on the outskirts of town.
If you would have brought that up maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I would have said you're full of shit. But we've seen a lot in the short span of time of being together, and I don't envy you.
If there's one thing that I've learned, is that if a legend isn't real, there's someone around that's dumb enough to make it real, at least.
My mother told me stories of Wendigos to make me behave. She said if I didn't eat my food, the Wendigo would come and take me away.
Oh, no, yeah. Yeah, they don't care if you ate your dinner or not. They'll just see you as meat. They particularly prey on, sentient awakened creatures, because that's sort of how they got created. Are either of you familiar with Wendigos?
I mean, I've heard of them, around the, town of in the Blackspire Mountains. Just, I grew up in some caverns just west of there, and we'd hear of Wendigos, but I've never had the misfortune of seeing any.
Right, so these things are absolute menace. So I was able to track down in my investigation, I was able to track down a trade caravan that got snowed out into the east of here. And there was a series of horrendous blizzards a few months back. And, they got completely trapped. No way to call out, no way to get help, no way to venture on. Dangerous predators lurking around every corner. they were ill-equipped to actually, fight back. Anyone that could fight got ravaged by, the bears, the wolves, and the saber cats. So, it seems that a few of them, well, the nearest food source was their mates. And with cannibalism running rampant, they get possessed by wandering evil spirits, and thus the Wendigo is born, and, well, its hunger is never satisfied. And it uses the mimicry of sounds it's heard to lure out its prey. Usually cries for help or things of that nature. So, it preys on those with a good moral compass, at least.
You would never fall for it, would you?
Well, the first time I bloody did, but the thing is I had a tougher hide than it, so...
I'm surprised.
Come on,
Or
you
perhaps,
can't...
Oh, sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, we can't all be as heartless as you, Ghost.
Fair enough.
No, I was just gonna say, if you're planning on using this axe, perhaps I could upgrade it for you and line it with some silver.
I wouldn't say no to that. But, first things first, as he goes and slurps up the rest of his stew. Right, and you see him go walk through a door, come back with a massive leather backpack, and it crashes to the table with a heavy clinking sound. 3,700 gold. You can bother paying the captain yourself.
Sounds good. Take it.
Right.
Sling it next to him.
And I can, I'll contact Siva for it. And let him know the job's done. In the meantime, how about we bust open some drinks?
I thought you'd
Oh.
never. I thought you'd never say that.
That's why we're here.
Question mark.
So he goes and just starts getting out mugs with like an assortment of drinks to try, and it's just all. They range from being. Most of them are pretty strong drinks, but they range from very oaky, savory flavors to straight up motor oil, depending on some of them.
That's awesome. Motor rails.
I want to try some of this White Hammer ale or mead or that you were speaking of. But perhaps I should save the stronger drinks for after dinner.
Why not eat it with dinner? Cleanse your palate between each bite. And he pours you a mug and just slides it across the table to you.
Chug it down.
It tastes like a little bit spicy apple cider.
Ooh.
And it is like ice cold.
Ah. Yeah, I want some of that.
Probably like coughs up a bit. I wasn't expecting the kick. But that is bloody delicious. Oh, I like that.
It hurts, but I love it too much to stop.
Oh, oh, oh.
Yeah, Ghost will probably just like take dainty sips of each to figure out which one she likes the most, and then go with that.
You're all right. So, that was a Crimson Crown ship you sailed in on.
It was.
Emphasis on was.
Oh no, we're renaming that that thing and making it unrecognizable.
Good. It was never a good design anyway. I don't know why they settled on it.
I don't know, it seemed pretty efficient at cutting through the ice.
Oh, efficient, yes. But it lacked pizzazz. It lacked vision.
Yes, but the cargo on it certainly didn't.
Oh, absolutely. They spent all their brain power on that.
Right.
So what exactly are those things? Like, you guys keep throwing around words like robots and mechanical and all of these things, and we saw those strange metal men in the warehouse. Is it just more of those things? Is it like something you drive?
Some of them can be. It's like some of them are used like vehicles, but basically, the internal mechanisms work like a clock. Imagine that it's a clock that can be given specific commands to, like, attack or, perform specific functions. Constructs. They're like a golem, but with a bit more mechanical rather than infused with magic. Don't get me wrong, there's a magical element to it, but it's a bit more scientific.
It sounds efficient, effective, but honestly a bit cowardly to send those out rather than go and do the job yourself.
And that is the heart of it. Who do you think's gonna buy those? Powerful people that don't like to get their hands dirty. Powerful people who want soldiers that won't question the morality of what they're doing. Powerful soldiers that can enact their will don't need to eat, sleep, or rest in any way. Just the occasional checkup. You see what the Crimson Crown is doing? Well, you saw what they tried to do 10 years ago. They're war profiteers. It's just at the moment there's no major war to profit off of. They'll pick the side of the highest bidder. Before it was the one with the dragon horde. But now, well, it seems they're working on starting something. Or at least there is a secret war that we're not quite aware of at the moment. It seems a lot of big players are gearing up, as it were.
I'm more interested in the money and just the feeling of adventure.
Well, they're in it for the
constructs fascinating.
They're in it for the money, all right.
But I mean, why not help people along the way?
Well, that does seem to... That's basically the gist of all I know of the current activities. My hands are a bit full here. This bloody town. It seems there's always something going on. Monster here, encroaching bear that is bigger than the hunters are typically ready to deal with. But most of my expertise here is used for things of a bit more of an aggressive and or a magical nature. You know, something that a typical normal bloke with a crossbow can't really take care of on their own.
So what you're saying is you do want the silver on the axe.
Oh, absolutely. I never said no to that. I'll gladly take that. fact, if I could cut my house in silver, I probably would. If anything, the whole bloody White Spire cape needs silver lining all through it. I mean, this place is absolutely infested with monsters all over the place. And I assume that's why I haven't heard from Risara in a couple of weeks. I mean, well, she can handle her own, but I mean, who knows what else is bloody out there.
And who's this Risara?
You would recognize Risara as Siva's daughter.
Ah, yeah. So she's that's actually a separate task that Siva asked us about. Where was she last heard from?
Well, she stayed the night here. And then she went, she went down south or southeast. Can't really remember. Haven't seen her since. I mean, there's a couple small villages of maybe a dozen or two people scattered throughout here between, here in South Rhine, but I mean, if I'm having this much conflict here, I can only imagine what the smaller ranches are looking at. Although most of those people are, they're survivors. If they've lived out there this long, I doubt a few monsters would deter most of them, at least. They're usually either ready to die or ready to go down fighting. If they go down at all. In fact, there was one bloke. He's just a couple miles east of here, even just a short walk out of town. He's basically got his entire ranch rigged to blow if it comes to it. Spent his life savings on gunpowder just in case. And I'm like, isn't that dangerous? And it's like, oh, it's all right. I don't allow fires near my, I don't allow fires near any of the places where they explode. I'm like, but what if lightning strikes? And he's just like, well, then it'll be a great show. He's a psychopath. But, those anyone that lives on the outskirts of any major civilization is a bit, woo.
I can confirm.
Well, perhaps before we head to Snowdrift, then maybe we could go look for Risara.
Yeah. That would be a good idea. Maybe she hasn't gotten too far.
I definitely need to patch my armor a bit first. As he looks down and it's kind of hanging right here. So yeah, maybe there's a blacksmith in town. I don't know if I'll find enough resources here to craft that armor I was speaking of. Maybe that would be in Snowdrift, but.
We actually get regular shipments of Snowdrift isn't really ore rich, but North Peak definitely is, and we get shipments of that, every week or so. So we should be due for one tomorrow or the day after. You'd be spoiled for choice then, for at least the basic materials. They've got quite a bit of iron, steel, the solid basics. Nothing truly crazy. You won't find, gold ingots, silver, or anything of that nature, but, the sturdy stuff.
Well, good. Well,
yeah. Once a week, the docks become a bit of a bustling market. You'll be able to buy more than just fish and hide.
Well, then perhaps maybe we could spend a day or two longer here, and if it's all right with you two, I could make some new armor.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Depending on the price, I might be able to make some for you, Belden, if you'd like.
Yeah, I would love that. I've had some things in mind about that myself. Although I'd like to get my hands on a few gemstones I'd like to work with. I've done a little bit of gem work and jewel crafting myself in my day.
I mean, you do have that fancy new armor that we got from the mayor. Would you rather keep that or make some new ones?
I'm easy to please. This this does well for me at the moment. You're the one that needs to be patched up.
Yes, desperately so. He's just kind of like, and then just like in conversation, it would just like fall down, and he'll just.
Yeah, and Borv, goes and as you're doing that, he's just like, well, most of the goods that come in are usually a bit more foundational, but I mean, he looks at the sack that you took, Rakos, is just like, I'm sure he can afford most things that are going to be arriving at the docks.
Who knows? Maybe we'll just buy the dock. Just kind of chuckles.
Well, that's the case. Give me some kickback. And then he kind of goes, and you hear this knock at the door. Goof, goof, goof. And just like, oh, give me one moment. And you just hear some like muffled, somewhat panicked, and then he's just like, it's all right, it's all right. Give me just 1 minute. He closes the door. All right, you lot make yourselves at home. This dire wolf has been prowling around my mate's cattle, so I'm gonna go take care of it. And you see him go into the other room and come back out with this stuffed boar mask that goes down into a cape. And you see he flings it over his head, goes, grabs a couple hand axes off the wall, and just muffled, just like, make yourselves at home, and help yourselves to the drinks.
See you later.
And he closes you inside.
He's a one for the theatrics, I can see.
Oh, absolutely.
I wonder where he gets it from. Definitely not association with you.
Was that a
Oh,
requirement for
definitely
your troop?
not.
What's that, Belden?
I said, was that a requirement for your old troop?
Why would
Asking
you even
ghosts.
think that? Absolutely not.
I won't wear a cape.
Oh, why not?
Yet.
I'll pull out the ribcage.
For that reason right there.
Olé.
But what if it's not red?
But it's so flashy.
Maybe a cool white though. That might look nice, depending on the armor that I make.
Or maybe blue.
I don't think I ever asked. Belden, you said you work with jewels. Do you work with anything else, or is it mostly just jewel crafting?
Oh, I mean, I like to tinker with most things. A little bit of, woodworking, a little bit of masonry, but I haven't done much metal work. I like to cook, and I like to, fiddle around with jewelry.
I
Well,
might commission you both for something later.
Gladly. I have a lot of hands, but it's always a lot of hands or a lot of experience in the blacksmithing. I've been doing it for most of my life, but it's always nice to have an extra pair of hands. Maybe when I'm making my armor, I could request your help.
Oh, I'd love to see it. I'd love to learn.
And then, Ghost, do you is there any crafts that you like?
I make everything I wear. So,
Very nice.
wasn't something that definitely surprised my teammates. given the fact that I was very much a bar fighting woman at the time.
You were a bar fighting woman?
Maybe.
Like for sport or just an angry person hitting other people?
Yes.
You know, just as soon as I think I'm starting to know you, it's just something weird comes up.
Keeps things interesting.
Yes,
I don't
I
understand
agree.
you at all.
But honestly, I don't know if I fully want to. It's kind of entertaining.
Then I'll always just give you half of everything. Let you figure everything else out later.
Oh, you know I'm not that competent. I'll probably get 3/4 of the way and then get distracted by something.
You will. I said halfway lightly.
Speaking of distractions, how's this? Pulls up the red cape.
Get a couple more drinks in me, and then maybe I'll entertain you.
Borv
Oh,
comes
this is
back
already-
and Rakos' horns are stuck in one of the walls because he tried to charge the cape.
and I just passed out.
just tried a couple times, couldn't get them out, so he's just like, oh, okay. Guess I'm sleeping here tonight.
So he was like, he's just hanging from the wall.
Right. So the night goes on. You discuss with the warm fire, strong drink. Borv comes back in less than an hour, soaked in blood, and just hangs up his boar mask just like on a rack, like if it like it's any old hat, and he just came back home from his 9 to 5. Throws his axe up on some hooks, and he shows you where you are to sleep, and he's just like, right, I am now tired and drunk, and I'm gonna
And
go to
disgusting.
bed.
Is any of that yours? I can tend to your wounds a little bit.
Oh, and he holds up his arm, and you see a bite mark, definitely in the wolf jaws, but you see the indents, but it did not break the skin. It's like, I'm fine, it'll go away by the morning. Most of this is, I got a bit excited. So, yeah. Anyway, good night. You two can just find, pick a spot that's most comfortable on the couches. Or, I don't bloody care. And then, Ghost, there's a full-size bed for you up in the attic. Just take the stairs right there, and then there's a pulley near the top that'll drop another set of stairs that'll lead you up there. It's a bit cold right now, but there's a furnace up there with a tinder box and some logs near it.
Thank you for.
Yeah, of course. Kept it ready just for you, or any other unfortunate that happened to stay the night.
Fair enough.
I
We
mean,
get a lot of those these days.
not recently, but about 6 months ago, your boy came through, so he spent the night.
I see.
Yeah, him and his current ragtag team of adventurers. I gave them all a stern talking to, and so I told them that if they took any jobs that were above their pay grade, that they wouldn't need to worry about the monsters, and I'd kill them each myself. I told them...
Let me guess. Their companions' names are Bo and Mace.
No, I believe one of them decided to call themselves... completely ignoring your joke. He didn't get it.
And
Borv's got a low intelligence.
and Reikos is very tipsy.
Yeah.
He's like elbowing Ghost.
Yeah, and
Just like-
she's just giving him that knowing smirk, just like, idiot.
Oh, no, they're like, oh my gosh, these kids, there are two others, and they were, I don't want to call them a bad influence, but like, have you ever gotten, like, you thought back to your youth, and you're just like, you're just like embarrassed of what you used to do? It's like that, but secondhand embarrassment. I believe one of them called themselves like Shadowblade, and then the other one was like, oh, I can't even remember. It was like Ripfang or something like that. These were like wee little tykes, you know. I mean, your boy,
That's exactly who
your
he
boy
would
had, like,
associate with. But
two
I'm glad,
chin hairs. There were
I'm
two.
glad to know he came through.
So I told them they stick to giant rats and at most wolves.
When he said the names, Reikos was taking a swig of the drink.
No, seriously. And it was actually kind of fun to watch him squirm though, because I decided to embarrass the other two. I looked at, I believe the one, she called herself Shadowblade, and I looked at her as like, does your dad know you're out here? And she just went bright red, and she's like, yes. And she told me Dad did it, and I'm just like, well, what does he think of it? And then she's like, he paid for me to come out here, and I'm just like, oh, bloody hell. These are little tykes. But I did a bit of digging. Her dad's a fine fella. You know. Hard-working man. And with a daughter like that, I'd have probably sent her off too. If you know what I mean.
Well, I hope he doesn't try anything funny.
Let's just say I didn't know somebody could wear that much eyeshadow.
Oh,
I bet
he's
you can
hanging out
relate.
with someone like that.
I bet you can relate. I bet you had to face
I
like
learned
that.
how to blend it out before I even left the castle.
Admit it.
This princess never wore too much makeup.
Oh yeah, but you're,
And,
you know, I could tell you're
Belden.
one for a rebellious face.
Belden, who's a little tipsy, takes a little bit of the soot and ash from the campfire and like rubs it around his eyes like this, Ghost.
Ah, yes, Shadowblade. It's good to see you.
I'm
No,
very good at blending
here's-
it myself.
Gives the same
Here's the
vibes
thing,
as
no,
Lord
she did that, but then she took her fingers and like she took her fingers and like trailed it down to make them look like tear marks, like she's some sort of banshee or something. And it's like, are you kidding? It's like, are you kidding me, lass? It's like she could. Oh man, and it's like, you know, I've seen some like you know the folks that we've met. You know, sometimes you see the face paint. It's like, oh yeah, that's like a necromancer. They use that face paint to symbolize their magic, help them visualize it better. Or you know, you get like there's that little tattoo like spell formulas on them. So like the
Something
markings like
reasonable.
that. She doesn't use a lick of magic. Not one lick of magic.
Where did you say they were going?
Oh, I sent them off to Snowdrift because I know there was some piss easy jobs there the last time I went. So they might still be there, but I told them to stick to the major cities. And I told them to keep to the low paying jobs. If it's a job that the city guard would not do, then I told them not to take it.
Look at me, Borv.
Yes.
Do you think my son would listen to you?
Well, absolutely fucking not. But
So
you
I guess we had to pull him out of
nah.
the deep.
Yeah, possibly. But I had a couple favors to cash in. You see, there's There's an old wizard up in Snowdrift. I helped them with a bit of a problem. Now, you see, one of his golems he was experimenting with is this ice creature went a bit haywire. Nobody was hurt, but a lot of property damage he had to pay for. So he hired me to take it out. And, let's just say he got me a tracking, nice tracking spell.
You've been tracking my son.
Oh, absolutely. I'm surprised you haven't found a way to track him with how much of a little fucker he is. He's the little bastard.
It's called respecting the space. He didn't leave on good terms. I didn't think it was wise to track him right away.
Well, it's a good thing
Besides.
that I'm doing it then, because I made no such commitment. In fact, he came here seeking me out. He's like, "Oh, Uncle Borv, can we crash at your place?" And I'm like, "Sure, as long as you actually bloody shower." I swear.
He's going through
rib
that
thing,
phase.
No. It wasn't him. Don't worry. He's got good hygiene. I mean, he needs to shave more often. He's got good hygiene. So does Shadowblade. No, it's that rip thing, fella. He's like some half-assed druid. And you know how they can get. Like, it's like, when you stop being the animal, you shouldn't still smell like the animal.
And he hangs out with them.
I mean,
Can't judge too much.
No.
You know how Kay smelled?
Right, yes, but...
I can't judge too much.
don't-
I associated with basically the same people.
But don't worry, beyond their terrible choice in names that I'm sure they'll look back on fondly. Their terrible choice in names and fashion sense, and one of their terrible hygiene. They're good kids. In fact,
I'm not going to let him live it down.
In
That's
fact,
for sure.
I'm surprised that they put up with your boy. The other two are so respectful. They're so respectful and nice, and your boy was like, "I'm too cool for this kind of a thing," and yeah, he didn't like it when I told him to eat his veggies.
Of course not. He never was one to eat his veggies. I can't blame him. I'm the same way. He's too much like me. You see the problem.
Well, this, I got a map tucked away in my room that shows me his exact location and a bit of his status. And be glad I used it in that and not some Crimson Crown executive. You know how bloody expensive that thing was? I could have sold that for like 15k. It took the wizard like 8 months just to, make the spell. I mean, don't get me wrong, tracking spells are a bit a dime a dozen, but for one to last that long, that took serious work. Putting on a scroll and do that.
You used it on my son.
I did because because you raised him, and I know the kind of shite he's likely to get himself into. I'm sure Deramos can keep track of him perfectly fine, but I mean, you never know. What if, I'm just saying, what if the situation that he's in requires a good axe and not a silver-tongued devil? Don't get me wrong, I love the bastard, but I hate him at the same time.
He has that effect on people.
I don't think I've ever wanted to hug or punch someone at the same time as hard as as that man.
Oh, imagine living with him.
It's that stupid, smug, know-it-all grin that he always has. Like he's playing a chess game and he always knows your next move. And that's why I operate the way that I do. Nobody can guess your next move if you don't even bloody know it yourself.
You do have some tells.
Good night.
That's a good
And
strategy.
he walks into this room.
Doesn't say anything, gets up, walks out.
Just to prove a point.
I might implement that. I like that.
Think about it more when you're actually not Rook anymore.
You know, I wish I could give more critique to your son, but I can't help but draw a semblance to both Tanarok, Mira, and I growing up. It was the three of us. Tanarok always kind of stank a bit because, he's a druid, but getting into shenanigans, but with less eye makeup and angstiness. Mira was adorable, not edgy.
Well, he didn't have you as a father. He had me as a mother, so the edge runs in his veins.
Yes.
I love how canonically your son is a "you don't understand me" kind of a kid. It's
And
so
she's like,
great.
Wake
no,
me up
son,
inside."
I understand too much.
This is the son that writes poetry while he listens to Linkin Park. He's just
Where
like,
are you?
crawling in my skin.
And I'm so sorry.
Meanwhile, she's like, no, I understand too much, and that's the problem. I want to forget, and you're just
this is the type of
walking
kid
me.
that's gonna look back when he's a fully fledged adventurer and stuff, and just be like, we don't talk about that.
Exactly. And she's not gonna let him live it down at all.
Oh, yes, by the way, Belden, she's the mom.
Yeah, I think I got that.
Did you know that?
And
And
so,
I'm the girlfriend.
yep. And you do
Uncanny.
the Tear Street marks.
Yeah.
But
Keep pushing it, and I shall punch you.
drinks to help alleviate your aches and pains from the fight the day before, and some nice warm hearths, and some nice furs to wrap up in, and Ghost a pretty comfortable bed for you to rest up in once you get the
Yeah.
fire going upstairs, which for
She
you
definitely-
is
yeah.
you literally have produced flame. You're fine.
Yeah. She
Um,
definitely want to glance at the map too before she goes to bed.
you see you glance in the map. There is like there's a you see a map that moves, and you see you recognize the shape of the land on there as being somewhere in the Palewood Peninsula, so the opposite side of the Eskimar Sea from you. And it's moving, and you see almost like an outline of your son's body, just kind of spread out with it's kind of hard to see the glyphs, but it seems to show like state of injuries and things like that, and everything
Stat
seems
block.
to be everything seems
You
to
have a
be
HUD.
a-okay, except exactly. So everything seems to be fine. They're just they're near the from what you can tell, the territory of the Far Reach tribe, which is the tribe of the indigenous orc population.
Which means they are not in Snowdrift.
It was like 6 months ago that he showed up.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he
Cool.
sent them to Snowdrift, but now
Oh, okay.
they've expanded their operations.
But with that location of your son currently known, you each very easily find a very welcome night's rest. A hot meal in your bellies, drink, warm hearths. You can all take a long rest, and that is where we are going to go on break. So, players be back at about 6:45, 6:46-ish, and we will pick up right where we left off. And to our audience, we will be right back in that time. So we will see y'all in just a bit. So, welcome back.
There wasn't cheese this time.
It was much worse.
Just go up and you just see one of you crying. Let's go back to talking about cheese.
Please.
So, come the next morning, each of you are awoken.
Well,
Rakos and Belden probably from the noise, but Ghost probably from the smell that eventually makes its way up.
yeah.
Nice hearty dinner of flank and eggs.
Yeah.
Bear flank and
Yeah.
eggs.
Dinner or breakfast?
Breakfast.
Yeah, we slept the whole day.
I'm like, I'm down for a midnight snack.
Fair
Guys,
enough.
do you smell that? It's like a fire. I only smell smoke. As I'm like still covered in ash.
Just like toss over a thing of water, wash that off, and then that will fix your smell. Could you stop yelling? Ugh.
Oh, don't worry. Protein, this'll cure your hangover.
It does every time. Trust me.
Where did you come from?
Upstairs.
All right.
You drank a lot last night. Are you okay?
Ask me in an hour and I might have an answer.
I'll take that as a no then.
So,
You might want to put a little bit extra of the good stuff in for them.
It's been a couple of years since I drank that much in one sitting.
It's okay. This will burn it right out of you.
right. So, looks like I got my dates correct. The boat should be docking, well, within the next hour or so. You can already see them on the horizon. Trade ships. Typically how it works is the ships make their way back and forth, and then merchants will basically purchase a spot on the ship, and then they dock, you board the ship, look through the marketplace, and then once the day's done, they'll sell back.
Are there only oars, or are there textiles as well?
Oh, it depends on who purchases spot on the on the ship. One of the ships is for the necessities, only, food, supplies, things like that, and things that are specifically requested. But there's usually 3 ships in total in the fleet, and so you're probably bound to find something that you like.
I'll do my best. You know how picky I am.
Well, these are snowdrift merchants, so they're a bit fancy.
Well, the quality could have gone down since I left. You never know.
I haven't cared enough to check to your standards, so... Anyway. Eat up. Get that protein in you. Shake off the hangovers.
Oh yeah, way ahead of you. I've just been picking from the pan.
So you eat a delicious hearty breakfast. Well seasoned. And there's a... He goes and he pours this dark brown sauce over it. That's really just savory. That just moistens up the meat.
It's called B2 sauce.
It's
None of that B1 crap.
None of that A1 crap.
Yeah. It's the Bortnik family gravy recipe.
I might just steal some of this from you.
Over my dead body. This
I
is
could
me
already
nan's
have it.
recipe.
Hey, I didn't say I'd steal the recipe. You can keep the recipe. I just want some of the result.
20 gold.
Really? For one bottle.
Nah, I'm just messing with you. And he slides one over to you.
Thank you.
If you reverse engineer that, though, I will find you and I will cut you down.
Nah. I'll definitely be trying to scrape every bit from the bottle, though. Maybe I'll make it a thing to come and get some from you every year. Actually start paying you for it.
Right, well, I have to go do my daily patrols and perimeter checks, so the town is at your disposal. And if anyone gives you a hard time, just mention that you're mates with me and they'll probably back off. And if not, I don't bloody care, you can handle yourself.
I appreciate the care.
Right. Well, good luck. And he looks between Rakos and Belden, just like, and my condolences for being stuck with her.
You've been a very good host. Thank you.
Appreciate the sympathy.
You haven't seen anything yet. As he leaves and closes the door behind him.
Have a good trip.
Oh, this food is very good.
I'm
I've
guessing
been
you'd
craving
like
a
to
large steak.
wait.
Well, I do want to head in and get the best material before anyone else nabs it. Besides what I need for my armor, I'll need around 65 to 70 pounds of steel, and I'm thinking I'll probably want to make it out of steel this time. I usually work with iron, but if I can get some good acid as well, I can give it a nice etched look as well to accentuate the runes.
It's a lot of metal.
Oh yes, but I mean, I plan to make a full set of armor, so that when I'm done, it should be around. I should use all of it. 65 pounds.
Oh, good luck walking around in the snow with that headache. We should probably get some snow glasses.
What's that?
Snow goggles. You put them on your eyes and they shield your eyes from the snow.
Sounds nice.
Especially in your condition.
I would also love to search for any kind of alchemical ingredients as well that we can find at a good deal. Healing potions are the more obvious answer, but I mean, who knows? If we get lucky, we can find something interesting.
Having bandages might also be helpful.
Yes, I think that might be a good idea. There's some places that will sell like a dedicated healer's kit. We could probably get one of those. But is there anything, you said that you were wanting jewels of any type, or what specifically are you looking for?
Right now, just something I'd like to work with. Maybe get a little bit of silver or gold or something I can use as a setting. Just something to work with.
But is there something specific you're trying to make, or just more to play around with?
More to play around with. I'd like to use something to kind of add to my gauntlets, give it some sort of a better focus.
I will trust you in whatever that is. I understand the metal, but anything more magical related, outside of alchemical stuff, I don't know much. All right. Well, is there anything else, though, that we should be searching for while we're out there?
I'd like to scope out any new clothing or cloth in general.
Yes, if we're gonna be out there in the snow, I mean, probably best to get some more furs.
Oh, do you have snowshoes, by the way?
I mean, I make do with what I got.
So I'll take that as a no. So we'll look for some snowshoes as well.
We might have to look in the child section.
I don't think any of that would fit me.
He's surprisingly sturdy. He weighs like twice as much as you, Ghost.
And?
Got much bigger feet than you too.
Anyone would. I have notoriously small feet. Anyhow, I was not actually thinking of hers, but that's a good idea. We'll definitely look for those. I was mainly thinking I want to look my best for any familial encounters.
And I was thinking, thanks to those furs that you gave me, perhaps I could build some clips into my armor as well, so I can attach and detach some furs that I can wrap around just to keep warm on the more cold nights.
Absolutely. It would be kind of cool too. It's its own kind of cape.
I'm kind of sad to see this armor go, though. As he kind of like holds it. I thought about just repairing it, but I do need something a bit more hefty. But this was actually my first set of armor I ever made. With my father watching over me. I'd made it myself, but he was obviously there to correct me.
Progression creates growth.
I've made a lot of armor since then, but I've just grown attached to this one.
You were never making the armor for yourself. You were making it for someone else.
Right.
It's a different kind of feeling, wearing something you've made for yourself.
Well, and usually the armor that I make doesn't contain all of these, as he's gesturing to the runes. Sometimes we'll add a few there for flair, but this is more a family tradition, I guess you could say.
Oh, pretty successful one, I would say. The redirection one is always nice.
Mm-hmm. The cloud rune.
You've saved me many a time with that. I don't believe I have the same feeling with, family heirloom type of thing. But it does feel different wearing the dress that I've made myself. And looking fabulous in it, of course.
Well, maybe while Belden is helping me in the blacksmith shop, you could be working on something of your own creation.
If I find something I like. It's from Snowdrift, so it's promising, but I don't know how it is now. Could have gotten new management. I wonder if my favorite dress stock is still active. Probably. Just one more thing.
Well, we could always go
list.
back to Eritrude and just get the wet dream.
It sounds like you want it more than I do.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not ready to get back on the boat again.
Oh, really? You want another cape?
Well, I'd love
Double
it.
red? Might wield results.
You know, while we're out here, and I'm thinking about it, I should probably just keep this one here in my pack and get something that, you know, not so
Flashy.
stark and obvious.
That's my thing.
That's what I was thinking, you know, having some white furs around would help mask you in the snow, and you'd look nice.
Or you could go more gray, like I do, with my overcoat.
Right.
Either one works just fine.
But I think the white might flare nice with what I have in mind with my new armor.
Fair enough.
Maybe if I get some polar bear fur.
And
Some
I could help
goggles.
you put it on.
Some goggles with some smoky glass would probably be good too, because it is bright here with all the snow.
Yeah, snow goggles. Let's go.
I'm glad I
You
had an
drank too
idea.
much. Good idea, Belden. Snow goggles, I've heard of those.
Yes.
So, as you head out into the town, it's the same as kind of when you arrive. Everyone's bustling and busy, doing their things. You see and hear kids playing, running the streets, and then you see just kind of over the town. You're kind of at a vantage point. You see pulling into the docks these 3 large ships. Or I guess medium-sized ships that and a light snowfall is going over the town.
Crisp sea air. Love it. I missed this.
It's kind of cold.
I thought you
Sounds-
had a lot of fur. I thought it was warm for you.
It is, but when you drink that much, I don't know why I feel much more cold this morning.
Well, you should probably put on the fur a little bit closer around your shoulders. You're kind of wearing it on one side. It looks very skewed. Here, just let me do it. And she'll like reach up and straighten the fur for him.
And he like pulls it up over his nose too.
Mm. You look weird, but that'll do.
Should we go find Greg's first to give him his 200 gold?
I would assume he's near the docks or in a tavern. So we could look at the tavern first because it's on the way.
Sounds good.
Yeah, the inn is pretty obvious in this town. You eventually find it, and it's called the Elk's Call.
Ooh. Fun.
Yeah, it's a really easy to find. It's like one of the biggest, or one of the bigger buildings. There's a lot of. Click here for viewers. Google.com.
Oh my gosh.
that caught me off guard. I just saw the purple. I'm like, what is that? It's a link.
Oh my gosh.
Don't click
Oh
it.
my
It's a
gosh.
scam. Anyway.
But it'll get us more viewers.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
We click mysterious links for clout.
It's just like a dare, you know.
So,
Going to the inn.
Yeah, you go into the inn. Warm fire, strong spices and meats, the sense of which fill your nose. You see, pretty easy to spot them. Kind of in one area, you see Griggs and his crew drinking away. They seem to be talking and chatting amongst themselves. Well, you see like the crew are all doing that, and Griggs is actually kind of off on his own, like watching over them, leaning against the bar counter, sipping away at a large mug.
Yeah, walk over to Greg's.
It's a hawk watching over his chicks.
Well, I like this place. They got good drink.
And good people.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
And as promised, pull out the 200 that he had already pulled out.
He just takes it. Honestly thought you would have just taken the money and ran.
Nah.
We're all that way.
I prefer to be honest in my business dealings.
It's appreciated. Well, I suppose I owe you a bit for debt. Well, sort of. You got me what I wanted. One down, one to go.
Where are you going to go after this?
Well, seems I've been offered a job. It seems that whoever hired you got the ship but has no one to run it. It's going through a bit of redecorating.
Mm-hmm.
So Captain will remain the title then.
We'll see. Haven't decided yet.
You should take it. I'd say it's well earned.
You are the captain now.
I'll drink to that. And I'll just like grab one of the mugs that's there. I don't care who it is.
Belden, no.
Just some random dudes.
Yeah.
she'll like gently pull it away from him and put it back and just be like, sorry.
Yeah, it's just like workers like, dude.
He's drunk and tired. Yeah.
Drunk now.
But
A little bit of drink hurt nobody.
But yeah, Greg just kind of grunts, just like, it's plausible I'll run into the Crimson Crown again if I take this job, isn't it?
It's plausible anywhere you go.
I reckon you probably have a good chance of running into them if you went back to Eritrude.
Oh, that would be a guarantee.
Not the one I'm looking for, though.
Well, if we hear word of this taskmaster, luckily, if you accept this job, we'll have an employer in common. And a way to contact each other.
No, thank
You hear about the task... Well, listen. If you hear about the taskmaster, you hear of his whereabouts. Just as an extra thank you for your help here, consider us a helping hand at taking him down. I think that's the least we can offer, considering the fact that you risked not only your life, but the life of these men here. by helping us on this job.
He nods in thought. We'll consider it.
Now, if we happen to run across this man, do you want us to save him for you or just do the job?
Just make it hurt. This other one isn't an executive like Roulette. He's the attack dog. I don't think there's any containing him.
We've had some encounter with his type, I guess you could say. And I'd say it went very much in our favor. Says with like a big grin as he like pats him on the shoulder.
Now, this ain't just any hitman. Normally, a single man doesn't leave a crater. But if it goes in your favor, I'll definitely toast to that.
Didn't that hitman that tried to kill me leave with a few explosions? What is Trap's explosive?
Yes, I stepped on several of them.
Yeah.
I also caved in his head.
That was the best part. I don't think I saw that part though. It was far away. It was through the trees, so I couldn't really
It
see
was
well.
through the trees.
Yeah. That was fun.
Right. Well, we have some business to attend to.
You best be on with it then. Don't waste your time with an old man. You go.
Time well spent. You're too hard on yourself, Griggs.
Yeah.
That was a polite way of me asking you to leave me the hells alone. I appreciate what you did, but I don't really like you that much.
I know you do.
He just stares at you.
I mean, we are the town saviors and all. As he kind of elbows Belden.
Here, here.
His eye
Stop
twitches.
stealing drinks!
Yeah, his eye twitches just a little bit. He's like, he just rolls his eyes, but you catch a hint of a smile as he goes back to his drink.
All right, let's head out. Let's leave the old man alone.
It's fine. We're wearing him down.
And as you're leaving, you hear him go to the bar, flag down the bartenders, be like, "It seems I just got paid, so a round of drinks for my men, please."
The crazy thing is he can spend like 2 gold and get all 30 of them.
Oh my gosh.
Depending on the drink.
All right. So, where are you heading?
The dock.
Shopping!
Yeah.
We're going shopping.
So,
That's Rakos who said it like that.
it is
Absolutely.
not a very long walk to get to the docks. People are already kind of lining up, walking on and off the boats. Seems that the shops aboard have been set up.
Nice.
So there are 3 boats with about 4 or 5 shops on each.
Now, as far as splitting the money and everything, I just figured we could, for now, have it all pooled together and then buy everything that we need as a group, and then whatever's left over we can divvy out amongst us. What do you guys say?
That sounds good.
Fine with me.
Right.
Let's go.
As long as we're not buying a whole ship worth of metal.
I don't need that much. And don't worry, I won't let any of it go to waste.
All right. So, what are we looking for first?
I'm assuming the metal. Because that was the most pressing thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me just go like this.
We get a map.
There is a... Okay. So, as you you managed to, on the more essentials based ship, there's a bunch of there's a stall with like a bunch of fruit and vegetables and stuff, things that grow in Snowdrift, a lot of mining goods, some like essential stuff like tools and tools and whatnot, as well as clothing, utilitarian clothing. So your winter jackets, your coats, which is pretty slim, just because that's kind of what Elkwind is known for, is already making that stuff. So this is more things like backpacks, rucksacks, and boots, things like that. Things that aren't essentially hide made. Some of them are like some of them are things like those fishing overalls kind of comprise a bit of rubber.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that.
Nice waders. Snow pants. Nice.
We can get some fly fishing.
Look, Belden. Boots. You should look. See if you can find any snow boots your size.
Specifically the big wide snowshoes. Because I imagine from here we might be doing a bit of walking, considering we left our carriage in Eritrude.
Yeah, I should get a pair of those. Do they got anything for me?
Yeah. Going around, there's shoes of all sizes and everything, and it can be relatively quickly retailored to your size. You would find a sturdy set of snowshoes for about 5 silver.
Okay. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, really nice, thickened dark hide with fur cuffs, and the inside is layered with fur as well at the bottom to keep your feet warm.
Which don't worry about taking it out of your inventory. I'll so you can add it to your inventory, but I'll take it from our pool of gold.
I might actually want to get new ones, because I think
You got yours from a dead body.
I got mine from a dead body, so they're kind of ill-fitting.
Yeah,
So,
you could get new ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna get myself some snow boots. Some proper ones. Just type in prim and proper snow boots. inventory.
There we go. And mine are still barely used, so I'm good with mine.
Nice.
All right. On to the metal.
So you go, and there is just stacks and stacks and pallets of ingots of tons of different types.
What type specifically?
There is iron. There is steel. There is brass. There is bronze. And there is also tin.
I'm going to go out to the shopkeep.
Yeah, so as you approach, it is a, it seems to be a, Dwergar man, bushy beard, just bundled in furs and stuff, and he just seems to be made himself comfortable on a mat that he has set up, because it would be really hard for anybody to steal any of his goods. So he's just kind of there. They're all like banded together and everything. And as you approach, he's just like, he kind of looks at your armor. He's just like, oh, what the bloody hell happened to you?
Band of harpies. Oh. Ugly as you can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Ripped my armor to shred.
Yeah, looks like it. I assume you're in need of materials then.
Yes. I was thinking of actually making some plate armor using some steel ingots, which I see you have over there. But I also, so yes, I plan on buying quite a bit of the steel ingots. But I was also wondering, do you happen to have, I don't see any here. Do you happen to have any silver ingots? Just a few on hand.
I keep those in a special lockbox, but I do have a couple ingots for sale.
And how much are those going for?
Oh, about 80 gold an ingot for the silver ones.
I mean, 80 is kind of a steep price. How big are your ingots? Like, how many? If I were to silver a weapon per se?
Oh yeah, you don't want to make the whole weapon out of silver. You want to just line it with silver. So it's about 80 gold per pound, and pound is usually enough to coat a blade.
One single blade.
One single blade, yes.
Because I can buy a silvered weapon for only 50 gold. And that's with the handmanship of making it and everything.
No, silver weapons is 100 gold, not 50.
Oh, I thought it was 50.
No, it is 100 gold. 100 gold to silver a weapon.
Oh, okay. All right. If that's the case, then Belden, how much do you need?
I mean, I'd be fine just with a single ingot for now.
And how many ingots do you have?
I have 3 for sale.
I'll take all 3. Just in case we want to use the other one in the future. I have plans for one, he has plans for one, and then we'll keep it in case we have an idea for something else.
Right, and then you wanted enough enough steel to make a full suit of a full plate armor.
Yes.
All right, a man your size. And this is, just so you know, this is not the cost of just the ingots themselves. Because you're a blacksmith, you get to make things for half price. As, you know, as we kind of establish how the crafting stuff works. Mm-hmm. So with full plate being base price 1,800, all the materials, the steel, the different metals you'll need to work in for different parts, the straps, straps and we'll say also the cost of the space to work on it. We'll include that in the cost just for immersion's sake. And then the space to work on it and all the little bits and pieces and maybe extra tools you don't have on hand will run you 900 gold.
Cool.
Because you're a big guy, so it's also got to be dense and thick and big and wide.
Mm-hmm.
900.
You got to put more adjectives in there. Come on, I know you can do it.
Hairy.
Juicy.
And hairy.
Harry.
Juicy and moist.
Also, the armor is usually 1,500.
Wrong.
Oh, it's
plate armor.
1,500? Thought it was 1,800.
No.
Let me...
All of us have our prices right every single time.
Right.
This is the price
Haggling
right.
is part of the fun.
This is the price is right.
Oh, yep, 1,500. So 750 gold.
But even the one who hosts doesn't know. Oh gosh.
Now, no, never mind. Above table, I already know that there's only one magic shop it's in Coradine, right?
It's in Coradine, right? Yeah, it's in Coradine, but other shops have been known if, like, an adventurer needed to make a quick buck or somebody that they know wants to sell it. It doesn't have it here because this is raw material stuff. But if you were to go in a major city to a blacksmith shop, there's a small chance that they could have magic items or other places. Usually it's at pawn shops, curiosity shops. Basically people that deal in a little bit of everything.
So the reason why I'm asking is more, would Rakos know about the ability to transfer enchantments?
Yes, which that has also been advertised to you when you met them at the Tradesman's Convergence.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
So yes, you would know that.
Okay. And then just one question from a merchant to another merchant. Do you know of anyone nearby or in any of the local towns who have the ability to transfer enchantments?
That's beyond my purview. I'm just a foreman and a salesman, so I have no idea, unfortunately, for you. I'd guess someone that knows magic would be my first clue. I mean, there's a wizard tower up in Snowdrift. Man that lives there, but he's usually more focused on his own research and intercity politics and the like.
Well, I was thinking, Belden, if excuse me, if we did decide to make you some armor, perhaps we could find someone to transfer the enchantment over for you.
I work with all my own enchantments.
Oh. Because we have money to spare.
And he raps on the splint mail that he got.
Yeah.
I mean, is that something as an artificer I can learn to do, seeing as enchanting items is kind of their thing?
I will say you do have to spend some gold to do it, almost like a spell component, which will typically be half the price of what it would cost you to pay someone to do it. It also would require a skill check. And then I would say if you were to roll a natural 1, not if you fail, but if you roll a natural 1 on the skill check, the enchantment is lost. But if you fail, you would just have to spend the gold and time again and just start from scratch.
Yeah.
And let's just say the gold is like the spell components that you find, which will be different for every enchantment, and we don't need to get too into detail. We just say you can find and buy them. But bringing that up, yeah, I think that's within the realm of plausibility. Given the fact that all your artificery stuff isn't just engineering, it is enchanting the items through with gems and things like that. So yeah, I would say I would allow it. Now, quick reminder, what we did discover a couple episodes ago is that you cannot infuse already magical items with your infusions. So
Right.
So, you said you can already infuse magic into it. So if I made this armor, you could infuse magic into it?
I can definitely try. I should be able to. As
So,
long as there's not already a spell on there.
Right. No, I'm talking about the armor I'm about to make for myself. What kind of enchantments could you do?
Oh, I mean, right now, I could probably just, make it a little bit, more durable. Add a little bit of strength to it.
Right.
Which
Does it?
I'm guessing.
Does it cost anything to do that? Like, or do you just do it?
with your innate infusions, it just takes time.
Okay, I'm looking to see if there was like a limit to the amount of it, because I know there's like a certain amount of infusions I can have.
Yeah, a certain amount of infusions you can have at a time. I believe right now you can have 3 items infused at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, that's fancy. And here. Well, is there anything else? So, do you want armor or like a shield, a weapon, or while we're here, if there's anything we want to make?
I do think a shield might be handy. I've been getting roughed up last little bit. That bout with the harpies almost did me in.
All right, the materials for a shield and all that stuff will run you 5 gold.
If you want, I could help you make some inlay to be able to put gems on your shield.
Ooh, I think I'd like that very much.
And I turned to the shopkeep. Are there any jewel merchants here?
I mean, not so much, the jewels themselves, but there's a jewelry person over in the next boat over. Saw her with all the bits and bobs and accessories and whatnot.
Right. And is there anything that you want made, Ghost, apart from your clothing, like of metal work?
No, that's actually what I was going to talk to you both about. I would like 2 lockets made. If that is fine with both of you. Maybe with a couple gems.
Well, I guess we just found a new use for our other silver ingot.
That will work.
All right. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Now, do you want them made to be able to hold something, or just make them look fancy?
I'd like them to hold something. Not anything big. Just...
Like this one. And he'd hold up the one and flip it open. You can see the image of Mira on there. Something like this where it's carved out, or something where you could insert a drawing.
Could both
So I
be
carved
possible.
this one.
one side carved with something and the other side a little bit open to put something inside?
Because if you give me an image to reference, I can carve it myself. Shape it, carve it.
Mm-hmm. All right. That might be a little bit difficult, but I can procure a picture or two. I mean, one, you just have to look at me. But yes, I would like one side carved and then the other side a little bit hollow, just so I can put something in there.
And then perhaps we can find some gems. Who knows what we'll find here in a moment.
Of course. They don't need to be anything big. Not super
I
flashy.
think-
Maybe just one.
Well, I think one ingot, we could probably finagle it and get 2 of them. And
Oh, yes.
a small amulet wouldn't take up too much silver. Or locket, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Any designs on the outside?
Oh, yes. I can draw some up for you later.
And then
Would the-
build in...
Would the ingot also accommodate for chains? Like a simple chain? to
Yeah.
go?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it would.
Okay.
That
Ghost
part's
doesn't know.
easy.
Ghost doesn't know anything about metalworking,
Yeah.
so she's gonna ask anyway.
We've got a pound of silver here.
Yeah. Your necklace isn't going to be
Hey.
a pound.
Hey, player me knows. In universe me doesn't, so she's just asking to make sure.
Each amulet can be a half pound.
That seems pretty heavy.
I know, right?
Why is my neck so sore?
Just like one of those giant ones that the 90s rappers used to wear.
Like thick metal
Oh my
links.
gosh. And it's
Uh-huh.
shaped like a dollar sign.
Inlaid with diamonds.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, well, let's go find the jewels.
Andrew, I'm addicted to this thing.
Glad you like it.
All right, so like I said, not selling jewels, selling jewelry, and some of them have gems embedded in them. So necklaces, this rings, things like that, and it is fairly expensive. So, what kind of gemstones are you looking for?
I mean, what kind of price range are we looking at? Because I don't want anything pricey. I'd rather find some raw, uncut gems and be able to work on them myself.
Most of the stuff you're looking around the the cheapest thing is probably around the 50 gold range. We're talking finely crafted jewelry.
And how big?
Probably like ranging, probably like in the amulets and stuff, maybe quarter sized, size of an American quarter.
Well, Belden, this is more your expertise. What do you think?
Is there any NASA shopkeep? You got any decent sized emeralds?
Emeralds are pretty expensive. Let me see.
Or maybe some opals? Even some agate would work, but I'd like to have something a little nicer.
Oh, never mind. Emerald is Let me just see. Emerald is around. Okay, yeah, emerald is one of the more expensive ones. A fully cut emerald is around, like a, like a gemstone emerald is probably base around, one that has like, what was the size of it? Base size.
Nothing too crazy, just like 6,000 carats.
Oh, jeez.
I want it bigger than my head.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, it looks like an emerald of a 1/4-inch diameter does run around 1,000-ish gold.
Let's find something cheaper than that. What about any? Yeah.
Do you sell any uncut gems?
Oh no, I don't. Everything is fully made. I do have a supplier in Snowdrift though. He's a gem miner, and well, his base of operations is in North Peak. Well, they've got, underneath the landmass there's some quite lucrative crystal mines that they they mine and then they send it out.
So perhaps, obviously, if you want something now, let's get it. But perhaps we could make a trip, since we're already going to be going to North Peak eventually. We could always check out those mines.
Sounds like we'll be going that direction at some point. We'll make a trip of it there. Say something.
What were the other gems you were looking for? Because the prices are
Opal
pretty.
and agate.
All right. Agate is really cheap. The standard size, which is a 1/4-inch diameter, aka 2 carats, is 10 gold for that. And then agate, and what was the other one?
Opal.
Opal is one of the 1,000 gold ones.
Or perhaps what we could do is we could get some of the cheaper ones now, just to have it in place. And then when we get the nicer ones, we could switch them out.
So what is the, for a standard gem, which is also kind of how it's calculated, is it usually goes up in multiplications of 10. So one that's an 1/8 inch in diameter is 1/10 of the base value, but one that is 1/2 an inch in diameter is about 10 times the value. And then obviously these are for the finely cut perfect gems, not like uncut gems or ones that are used for like spell components, or in magic items, because those are in a very specific way. And so you're not really paying for the gem at that point, you're paying for the magic that it's being used for. But because of the magical properties, some of the gems are pretty high price. I don't think some of these prices get pretty crazy. I think I'm going to lower the multiplication instead of, in factors of 10, maybe do it like it doubles, then it triples, and so on and so forth as it goes up.
See, I think I'd rather just wait until we get up to North Peak and get some things, because it's purely for like RP elements that I want to add these gems to.
Yeah. So.
Well, and I was actually thinking, can I share with you my idea for the shield that you were asking for? Obviously, if you don't like it, I'll do it however you want me to. But I was thinking we could do it almost like a upside down teardrop shape, where it's more pointy on the bottom and rounded at the top. But then if, talking about putting a gem in there, we could have one single gem right in the middle to give it a nice flair. And then we could give it some intricate design going along the side. Any excess silver we have, perhaps we could line it. More for design, less than functionality.
Perhaps. Yeah. Something to think about. I like the thought of it.
But if you think of another design, I'm happy to make it however you like. So are you going to get anything?
I mean, is there anything in particular you want, Ghost, for your locket?
Do you have any small rubies or gold labradorite?
Let's see. There are several kinds of ruby, or two kinds of rubies. Do you want the star ruby, where it's a bit opaque, or the clear red ruby?
Clear red.
Clear red is the base 5,000 gold one.
Oh,
and so
gosh.
the small one would be 500.
Okay.
Ooh,
dang.
It's
Aw,
mostly
star rubies are
because
cute.
it's mostly that because fire is a very common elemental type, and it's used in fire resistance magic items.
Oh.
So that's why it's very sought after and expensive. But let me.
Oof. That sucks.
The Labradorite, I would probably put in the lowest one. That's
Yeah, because it's really common.
yeah. It shares the things with obsidian, rhodochrosite, tiger eye, turquoise, quartz, blue quartz, all that stuff, which is the base value for the 2 carats is 10 gold.
Okay.
Like I said, the prices are wildly different.
Yeah.
Mostly because of their enchanting factors.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which makes sense for the world, actually.
Yeah, because
One of the few economic choices I can get behind a little bit.
I know D&D's economy is just.
Would it be cheaper to get a ruby that is uncut?
Oh, undoubtedly.
Oh, yes, because when you're buying a cut ruby, you're buying it ready to use for whatever you need, then you're paying for the expertise of the gem cutter. Oh, an uncut ruby, depending on the size, of course, can usually be around half to 2/3 the price of a standard market value.
Alright, I will get the labradorite then.
Of course. You want the
There's one or
standard?
two.
Yeah, I've got 2 labradorite rings. That'll be 12 gold each.
2 then.
Of course. Do you want the gold or the silver bands? It's not
Silver.
real. It's not real silver. It's just, coloring. Rose gold and just some polished nickel that looks like silver.
I'll take the silver ones.
Of course. Here you go. That'll be 24 gold.
Thank
I'll
you.
hand it over.
Okay.
And she'll just slip them in the little pouch.
Is there anything else that you would like to buy here?
Herbalism.
There is not an herbalist
Wah.
on these ships, mostly because a lot of the stuff would not survive the boat conditions for wholesale of
Fair
it.
Wholesale.
Ah. What if they were going at half mast?
Wholesale.
Then maybe, yeah.
Unfortunately, both these boats were going wholesale the whole way.
Sorry, not sorry. Just looking, just want to glance at some cloth, if there is any.
Yeah, there's some textile stuff.
Nice.
Roughly how much gold would you spend on
How much can I spend on it?
That's up to you.
Depends on how much this stuff costs too. Like how much.
It's pretty standard price with it. So probably you're looking at maybe a full dress's worth is maybe like 2 to 5 gold. Of the really nice stuff. This isn't Valdesian textiles, so it's not like the best of the best.
Right. It's sufficient though. 20 gold's worth.
20 gold's worth. Okay.
All right.
And then
when you make the stuff, you can just describe the kind of textiles that you got.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty.
All right. Anything else?
I think we're good.
Yep, we're good.
Okay.
Just doing a quick glance around. What other kinds of shops are there?
There's just like
case.
basic stuff, lumber, things for like lumber, basic tools and stuff. Some guy is a Fletcher, so he's selling crossbow bolts for the hunters and stuff. Fishing supplies, nets, things like that. As well as certain just like pre-made foods, delicacies, pastries, alcohols, drinks and things like that. Household supplies, so household cleaners, kitchen supplies. Just basic day-to-day stuff for the most part. Stuff that you could find in a larger general store for the most part.
Okay. Has Reikos ever heard of a bag of holding?
Probably
Or
not.
no? Okay, cool. Then I won't ask around for one.
You wouldn't have found
Let's
one.
go.
Well, I was gonna do some other stuff and go check out some other shops in town, but nah, it's all good. If he doesn't know about it, he won't ask about it. All right, well, I have everything I need. So now we just need to find a blacksmith where I can get to work.
So just for stuff like that, we can say that part of the cost of making the armor was renting the forge. So eventually you stumble across the local blacksmith where his blacksmithing stuff is really only to maintain the guards' weapons and armor, things like that. And then, but most of what he does is, nails, nails, tools, horseshoes, that kind of stuff.
First think of when you think blacksmith.
And so as you make your way over, it just seems to be a middle-aged human man with a thick black mustache and kind of a balding head of black hair. And as he seems to be hammering away, he goes, quenches a horseshoe, sets it aside, and then takes a seat as you approach. It's like, oh, do I have customers?
More like a potential rentee. I wish to use your forge to craft something. I'm in need of armor, and I have all of the supplies. I just need the forge.
Well, this is I am running a business here, so I would need compensation for the time.
Oh, of course, and I have that prepared.
Right. Perfect. Well, I do not have any problem with you doing it. I guess I will take a break for the day.
Here,
I need
as a
some-
thank you, go buy yourself a drink. And then I'll hand him an extra gold above what I was going to already give him.
I'll get like 5 drinks at this. Well, the forge is yours. For that price, take as much time as you need. I may need to interject to get some projects done, so I guess when I need forge, you take break. When you take, and then when I take break, you can use forge. This sound like good deal.
Sounds great.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna go get vodka from the inn. He just kind of mutters. And he's like, he definitely feels like he got the better end of that bargain. So, the first day, completing all these projects, you're very experienced blacksmith. So you could probably
get expertise.
Yeah. So you could get this done in probably 2 days, which is, for normal world stuff, that is absolutely ridiculous and insane, but this is fantasy world, so.
Yeah.
We're all jacked here.
He's that experience.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for about 35 years.
He's totally natural.
Since I was
guys.
like 4, I've been in the forge.
Totally a natty.
So, for the first day of smithing this armor, just to kind of see, go ahead and roll that. I believe it's going to be strength for the blacksmithing with your expertise.
And I asked Belden to help me, so he's my helping hand.
And with his knowledge on it, because I believe he has proficiency with smith's tools. Yep, you get advantage then. Let's go ahead and roll for that.
So I am going to roll with advantage and then add 6 to it. First one is a 17.
Very nice. So, you get mostly done with the armor. Not enough to be wearable yet, but by the end of tomorrow, you could feasibly finish the armor, and then the shield is a much easier thing to do. You'll be spending most of your time on the creative design, but the shield itself is way less intricate. So you could probably bust out both of those in the next day. So as the first day finishes, the blacksmith was nice enough to show you a walk box that he has inside his shop where you can store all the unfinished stuff and your metals so you don't have to carry it with you. And he locks it, gives you a key to it, and then he locks up his shop as you go. And on your way back to Borv's cabin, you meet up with him along the way. And, he asks you how your day was and all that kind of stuff. However, as you're approaching the edge of town, you notice a small gathering of people, just a few people, who are still up at this hour, still out and about. As you see as they're all staring out the town. And as you get a vantage point and are able to see past, you notice a horse trotting up to the town with someone atop it. Person at the top is bundled up with a riding cloak and hood, as someone in this weather obviously would be. And everybody's kind of silent, like trying to figure out, like, who's this guy? Normally people arrive in the day, things like that. And you notice the reason that people are starting to crowd, because normally somebody riding in on a horse is like, okay, neat. But the reason why is because a couple of the guards watching the perimeter of the town called to him, and it was silent. And so the guards are a bit uneasy. They've got their shields up in front of them, keeping everybody back because this rider has not responded. And Finally, the horse just ever so slowly trots up. As you see the figure fall off the horse into the snow. As you see the snow beneath him start to turn red. And that is where we are going to end it today. Thank you to everybody who tuned in for this episode. Whether lurking or otherwise.
I just wanted armor, man.
You'll get it. You'll get it. But yeah, thank you to everybody who tuned in this episode, lurking or otherwise. As always, any and all support is appreciated. So if you're watching this later on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Anything to make the algorithm happy with us and get us out there a little bit. We appreciate every little bit with that. Also, shout out to our Patreon. You get a bunch of cool stuff for doing it, like Discord access. You can play some games with us if you are so inclined when we're on there. And you can also, at the highest tier, you can get access to the permanent discounts on all your purchases with our merch stuff, as well as exclusive access to the biggest or the most exclusive Discord channels. And anybody who's on our Patreon gets sneak previews at some of our projects, which so far mostly consists of Erica's unfinished sketches or sketch ideas that she has. So yeah, that is pretty much all. So
Christmas is coming. Yep. Get some dice.
So speaking of our patrons, let me roll. Rakos, can you thank our lovely patrons, please?
Thank you, D4Fan, and thank you, Brennan. Your help has been much appreciated these past couple months. And thanks to your funding, I now have enough to be able to make some very fancy armor. I'll get back to it once we figure out why this man is bleeding, but thank you nonetheless.
Yes, and before we go, huge shout out to Tabletop Audio for allowing us to use the wonderful immersive background music and ambiance. If you are so inclined, support them on Patreon, especially if you use them. I support them on Patreon, and I encourage everybody who can afford it to also do so. DMs who like to use them for background noise. It's just beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Not a paid sponsorship. They're just really generous with allowing us to use it, and I support them on Patreon. So yeah, shout out to them. But that is all from us. So we will see you all next week and pick up right where we left off. So thank you all. Bye-bye.